All right, we're live.
Nice.
Nice. Hey, welcome back.
Yo, hello.
Hello.
Another show.
Yeah,
We did it.
we did it. We're here.
It's almost Thanksgiving time here.
Yep.
Happy almost Thanksgiving to those who celebrate. What's it up with you guys for the last week?
Busy.
Really? Not all that much. I did some socializing with local friends. That's about it. Because like Reese was gone, so I had to watch the cat. So I've basically just been busy with stuff like that.
Nice, nice. Paul,
Just busy.
who's excited for Wicked?
I've heard more people talk about it than I've seen the ads everyone keeps complaining about.
Okay. What about you, Paul?
Not at all.
Since I go to the movie theater often, I see a trailer for Wicked every 7 days.
So you're
Sure.
sick of it, is what you're saying.
Yes, about as I mean, like, there's definitely trailers where I've been more sick, but I am looking forward to not seeing the trailer anymore for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
I mean, I'll see it. It's just a really long movie. And then the other movie this weekend is Gladiator, another really long movie. So I'm
Yeah. True.
gonna probably be at the theater for like at least 6 hours this weekend.
Ugh. That sounds
That's
like a nightmare
wild,
to
dude.
me.
That's so much.
In
Yeah.
the chat, we got my sister is going to see it 4 times in the next week. That's
What?
insane.
I'm assuming with 4 different groups of friends or something, right?
Surely, yeah. I
Like
hope.
I know some people are big fans of Wicked. It's like it's been around for a long time, but like it's got to be because of the new movie, right? That they're excited to go see it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Something
Yep,
about
four
it. Yeah,
different groups of friends. That's
Makes
a lot
sense.
of
right.
friends. That's a lot of Wicked. I don't know,
It's a
man.
lot of wicked friends, man.
Yep.
There you go.
True.
Your sister's got a lot of wicked friends, eh?
Yeah.
I'd have to really like. It's pretty rare I go to a movie twice. I have to really like it. If it's like if it's over 2 hours long, there's a rare chance I'm actually seeing it twice in theaters.
I love that I can only think of one movie I saw in theaters twice, and it's Snakes on a Plane.
Hell yeah.
That checks out.
That checks out for me,
Yeah,
100%.
that checks out for sure. Last time I did that, I saw Deadpool and Wolverine twice. Other than that, yeah, it's been a while.
Last
What about
one
you,
for me
Paul?
was
Last time you went to
That's up
Spider-Man.
on streaming now, right? Like I can actually just go watch that.
To answer John, yes, it's on Disney Plus now. And Paul, what was which Spider-Man did you see twice?
No Way Home.
Ah,
No way. I think I also saw that one twice in theaters. Yes. Very cool. Very cool. But let's do a podcast about video games because it's the Top Down Perspective, and it's November 21st, and I'm in the middle of a hurricane vortex thing. I forgot the actual name of it. I think bomb might be somewhere in there.
polar bomb or bomb
Polar
vortex,
bomb, something
Wow.
like that.
some combination of the vortex bomb and polar.
Ugh.
Something like that. That's also probably like a good band name in there
Probably
too,
is.
if you mix up the words properly. Now I understand it's like way more up in like the Pacific Northwest, but I'm starting to get some of the rain, and it's just like dark clouds for the last half a week. So, but good luck to any listeners in the Pacific Northwest. Hopefully, you still have power. Anyway, let's talk about what we've been playing. Paul, did you play any video games?
I just been picking around on multiplayer games, Diablo 4 and Call of Duty and stuff. Nothing new or special.
Okay, the new Diablo expansion.
Yeah, but I've talked about it before. It's still good.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right. John, you got a couple things in here.
Yeah, I played some Nintendo stuff. Turns out Nintendo still makes video games.
Holy shit.
Wow, are they
Nice.
good? Are they
I
good
know.
yet?
Wow.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it. See, he's only saying that because one of the ones I played was Super Mario Party Jamboree. So,
Sure.
I haven't heard great things about the other one.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, Jamboree, it's Mario Party. I didn't like it.
I
It's
think
Mario
it's
Party.
fun.
It's slow. It is so slow
God.
compared to the other ones.
True.
That's
Very
my
true.
Sounds
only
awful.
gripe. That's my only gripe. We did a
Okay, what-
30-turn game
Oh, God.
Wednesday night on stream.
So what was that, 4 or 5 hours?
4.5 to 5. Yeah,
Yeah.
close to that.
Because I
That's
did
the
a
max
20.
you can do?
That's the max you can do. For reference's sake, in the old games, that's the equivalent of a 50-turn game.
50. Okay. So
Yeah.
what exactly is making it slower? Is it just like a lot of talking or something? Like,
A lot of the mini games can take a while. There's mini games that take up to 3 minutes.
does that make it? I'm assuming that would make them like less mini, like bigger? Is
It's
that
more
better?
of a game at that point.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That sounds good then.
I mean, like, okay, I
Unless they're
like it.
bad
I'm
games.
I'm not saying like the boards are cool, like the mechanics they threw in are interesting. Each board has different items and stuff that mix it up. The boards they brought back were pretty solid and pretty well updated. Yeah, like it's an overall solid thing, and there's a bunch of cool side modes. There's a freaking battle royale mode. There's a
Oh.
co-op tower defense mode. Like there's a bunch of cool things in there. Like they did a really good job. I think the minigame counts like something bonkers like 140 or something like that.
There's
But
a
they're all
lot.
scattered over these various modes. And a significant chunk of them use the Joy-Con, the motion controls, and if you don't have that turned on, which you can turn off, you lose like a decent chunk of games. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
no, it like
So
otherwise it is Mario Party. It's fun.
how do you play this if you're on like a light?
Uh,
You
you
just have
just
to
play
move the whole
you turn off
system?
no you just turn off the mini games. You just turn off
Okay.
the motion controls.
Okay.
So you wouldn't be able to do everything in the game because there's dedicated motion control areas, but you can still do a solid amount of the game.
So you're saying 30 turns is too much. What's the like sweet spot?
The
for
game
you?
I think recommends 10 to 15 turns, which is not enough to get steam going on some of those stages. Like we did the Bowser board on 30 stages or 30 turns, and that was like the perfect setting for that. Just you have to dedicate so much time.
Okay.
We did
Yeah.
20
So
and it was about 2.5 hours. That felt
yeah,
long.
15 is I think the sweet spot because it's a roughly 2 hour run at that point,
Mm-hmm.
and that's usually what a normal 20 turn game would take on the other games.
Have they gotten rid of like the bullshit stars at the end yet?
No,
No, they're
you can turn them off. You've always been able to turn them off, or like you've been able to turn them off in the last few games at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about always, but okay. Maybe last
Yeah,
year.
no, there's
Checked out, so.
no like Mario Party 2, you could turn them off. So yeah, a fair
Oh,
amount of
did
the
you?
games you can turn them off. Yeah,
All right.
but yeah, they're randomized now. So it's like okay, you like who landed on Bowser the most, who landed on the
Right.
red space the most, who walked the most, etc.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I like it. It's a good Mario Party. I'm enjoying it. Oof.
Nice.
I'm also playing Mario and Luigi Brothership, the new Mario and Luigi RPG.
Right.
That game starts slow,
Okay.
very slow.
I mean, it is an RPG, so that's kind of
No, I mean even for that
cheap for an
series,
RPG. Oh,
slow.
okay. All right.
Like, it took me 4 hours to get to my first boss.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I am the kind of person who, if I see an enemy, will beat the shit out of it. So I always will get in encounters, and I will always
Oh.
like comb over everything for items. So like, I am a slower player in RPGs than most others. But even then, that's still a long ass time to get to a boss fight. And
Sure.
even then, like one of the main mechanics of the game is bro system, like the bro moves, where you just Mario and Luigi do moves together to do extra damage or like take out an entire group. That's like the series staple. Uh, you don't get your first one till like a bit after that boss fight. Like so that was like 4.5 hours in for me, which I think is insane because normally you get those in like the first hour, if not sooner.
Looking up what the how long to beat is on this one.
It's like 35, I think, ish.
Yeah. How long to beat for main story is 37. So yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
close to that. I mean,
So
as
yeah.
far as like RPGs at the end of 2024, that's like the shortest one. So
Yeah, honestly, that's why I decided to play it. That and I like the series. Like I said, it is so they do one thing which is both good and bad. Like they over animate, so like the fights look really fluid, but fights feel like they take a while because everything is over animated. So it's just like oh
okay.
Luigi's got to go like bang bang woo woo woo
Oh.
woo down to like get in a hit on an enemy. So
Right, and eventually
they
it's
over
like,
spectacled.
yeah, I've seen this move 100 times. I don't need to see all the flips. Can you just hit the guy?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, I feel like that's pretty similar with like I would get that way with Pokemon games eventually, where it's like I don't need to see the full like fire blast thing. Just
mhm,
like hit this guy. Let's go. Come on.
yeah.
I'm 100 hours into this.
Another thing is it has some loading issues. Like it will take a bit
Oh.
to. Yeah, shocking. I know on the Switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
It like
Whoa.
when you finish a fight, it takes like a couple seconds to get back to the game. Like it's kind of it's not like bam bam. It takes a bit, which is a bummer. Getting into fights is pretty fast, but like getting out takes a little bit.
Okay.
There's frame rate issues. It's not a consistent frame rate. I guess
Okay. It's a
again,
Switch
the
game.
Switch.
Yep.
Yeah,
In 2024, it's a
I
Switch
really
game.
get the vibe that most of the devs were really hoping Switch 2 was going to be out by now.
Yeah. I feel like that's like most games from this year. They were just like, they made us do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am still enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's that 5 out of 10 that the IGN review was.
Yeah, that's the one
Uh,
I saw. So.
Wow.
yeah. Like, because everyone else was giving like 7s to 9s. So
Oh,
like,
okay.
the IGN review was an outlier. I would probably put around 7 or 8 currently where I'm at, but I am not super far in the game. Like, I'm not even at my second boss fight, I don't think. I might be on my way to it now.
Yeah, Metacritic has it as a 78, so it's just totally fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all right. If you like the Mario and Luigi RPG series, give it a shot. Just know that it will start really slow. I've been told it picks up speed almost exponentially, but yeah, that slow start is slow. It's not Final Fantasy 13 slow, but it's slow.
You think you'll finish it?
Uh, maybe, I don't know. So like the only ones I've finished in the series are the first two. The third one I never even played, and everyone tells me that's the best one.
Is that Bowser's Inside Story?
Yes, that's the
Okay,
one.
yeah, I've heard that one's really good. I think the only one I've played all the way through was one with like the 100 Luigis, and they would turn into like a
That's
giant
Dream
Luigi.
Team. Yeah, that's the
Okay.
fourth one.
I
Dream
played
Team was
that
good.
one.
I got 2 areas from the end, so I got pretty close to the end of that one, but stopped. And Paper Jam was not pretty uninteresting.
There's one called Paper Jam.
Yeah, that's the one where they cross over with the Paper Mario series.
Oh, I totally forgot about that one. Superstar
Most people
Saga, was
do.
that one?
Superstar Saga is the first one.
Okay, I played
Superstar
some of that
Saga,
one.
Partners in Time, Bowser's Inside Story, Dream Team, Paper Jam, and now Brothership.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
6
so
games in the series.
I played 2 of them, I guess. What about you, Paul? Have you touched the Mario and Luigi series?
Never. And I've heard this one is
Alright.
particularly boring from a lot of people. So probably not going to
It
start on this
definitely,
one.
like I said, takes a while to get going. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if I were gonna go back, it's Bowser's Inside Story, which I hear is the good one, and that's the
do it.
DS.
Yeah, do that.
That's the one I've heard too.
People say the 3DS remake's not the best, but I mean, whatever. Like, play the DS or 3DS one, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, that's all you played?
Yep.
I have played a bit of Lego Horizon Adventures.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm playing this on the PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
This was kind of a weird one because it came out like right after the Pro came out and had no like Pro upgrade, which was just kind of odd
Hmm.
as like kind of the
And-
first one like out of the gate.
I get it, but it's a Lego game, so like, what were they gonna do? And it's also
I've-
on. It's also multi-platform, which is wild. Like, it's on the Switch.
It is on the Switch. Yes, you can get a Switch cart that has the PlayStation logo on it, which is
Oh, man.
Insane.
which is pretty weird for sure. And you know what they could do? They could have made it 8K. They could have done 120. Other games are doing it. There's always the numbers always go up. They haven't found a limit yet, so they could have done something, I guess. I'm just kind of surprised that there's like nothing there for it. Anyway, the game looks really nice. Again, I'm talking about the PlayStation one. Who knows? I don't know how it looks on the Switch. I'm sure it looks better on the PS5. Everything looks real shiny. I think the kind of real novelty of it is just seeing the Horizon dinosaurs and the world as Lego, and it's just kind of seeing how they like converted everything over. It's definitely like a kind of truncated version of the story, a lot more family friendly, obviously.
Sure.
And you can even hear that in like the voice acting. Like they got all the same voice actors back, but like in Horizon, Aloy is like never smiling. I would say like she is always serious time. She is here to like I'm here to save the planet and not fuck around. And in this one, she's just kind of goofy and laughing and stuff. So it is definitely like a lighthearted version of Horizon. So I'm not the biggest Lego game player, so I can't really touch on like how it relates to all of those. I did play a little bit of that more recent Star Wars one because everyone was saying it was incredible. That game seems just way bigger than Horizon. Horizon is you're kind of just walking down corridors. There's nothing like an open environment where you're going around, which from the bit I played of I think it's the Skywalker Saga was that one. Like there was like multi missions in like inside this Death Star and stuff, and you could like take your own different routes of how you wanted to complete random objectives. This is much more straightforward. It is a Lego game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a Horizon fan, but you don't like the Lego games, this is not for you. You need to be okay with the Lego games. You need to be okay with stupid easy combat, health pickups everywhere. You're just mashing the square button to like shoot your arrow. They do some of the kind of Horizon stuff, like when you come across the the robots, you can target specific parts on them, which will do extra damage by knocking them. Like if you knock off the antlers of the deer one, it won't be able to use that specific attack. You're not crafting in the same way of Horizon, where it's like you need to make sure you shoot these canisters off so you can pick them up later to upgrade your bow, whatever, blah blah blah. You're not setting traps. So it is very much Horizon light. And again, it's a Lego game, so it's like stupid easy.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of more novel. Like I like Horizon. I like that world, so it's just kind of fun to like be in there. It's got local and online co-op, which is fun too.
Yeah. I was gonna say I was surprised the game exists, but then I realized there are Lego Horizon kits. They
Yeah.
exist,
Yeah.
which is why this happened. So
I mean, I have the tall neck one. I bought it a while ago, and I just haven't gotten around to build it. And I think they just announced another one, which is some of like the smaller animal ones. Yeah, there is definitely like a partnership there. I previewed this back during Summer Game Fest, and I was asking like, was this Traveler's Tales? Because they do the Lego games, and it's not. Like this was all done by Gorilla.
actually,
Yeah, and so I guess Lego must just be like, here's the files to make the Lego look like, and use these like, because so like, what's Traveler's Tales up to?
well, how long was Skywalker Saga in development? Because I remember there was like a bunch of turmoil about the development of that.
Yeah, I don't know, but that also came out a couple years ago.
True.
I'm looking at their games website right now to see. So I don't exactly know if these in order, but the very first one they have is Skywalker Saga, so maybe that's the most recent one. Yeah,
It's got to be. I don't think they've done anything
yeah,
since.
they have it set up by date. So that is the most recent game they have done. And does it tell me a release date for that? Someone in the chat is saying it's
22, yeah.
2022. So I'm assuming they're working on something else. But
They
yes, they
gotta
did
be.
not have anything to do with Horizon, which is just kind of interesting. So
That is wild to me.
yeah. I don't know. I'll probably play through it. It seems like it's also like a really easy platinum, so like why not? That's kind of why I'm playing it. I'm not like focusing too hard on it. Most of my week has actually just been more Dragon Age, but this is just such a nice like I'm just gonna shut off my brain and just look at like the pretty shiny Lego pieces break apart when I run around this place. And you get special abilities like a hot dog truck that is basically just a bomb, and that's in there for some reason. Like it is really like silly. It is not serious like Horizon is. So yeah, if you're a Lego fan, you might find something here for sure. But yeah, it's more novel than anything, I think.
See, the fact that it's got all these silly things in it, but it's the original devs makes it way funnier in my mind. Like that they would do
Yeah,
all these
sure.
things like the hot dog truck.
Yeah.
I would assume it almost feels like a bit of a break where they're like, hey, we can just kind of go nuts and a silly version. We don't have to like worry about making this like a first party Sony sad game.
Yeah.
So.
I got contacted for a sponsor segment for this, and I ended up getting rejected for it because I played mature rated games. So they were aiming for a very, very specific young audience for this one, which is funny because it's E10, I'm pretty sure.
Wait,
Huh.
they reached out to you and then
Yeah.
realized later that they shouldn't have?
So the company that gets me a bunch of sponsorships and stuff like that, Sony reached out to them asking for streamers, and they were like, "Okay, you're a good fit. You're a variety streamer. We'll get you in contact." Sony said okay and gave me an offer, and then Lego supposedly shut me down because Lego did
Oh.
not want people who played mature rated games. But like the message came from Sony, but my contact said it was coming from Lego, so it
So it
was
was
like,
kind of like a right hand not knowing what the left hand is
yeah,
doing kind of
basically,
thing.
yeah.
Weird. That's a fun kind of peek behind the curtain, but yeah, that is odd. What would even be the issue of that? Like, it's not like you're going to play an
So it's
M-rated game during this game.
I don't know
Like,
what they just don't want. Like, I don't know if Lego was advertising and like linking people who were doing the sponsored segments or not. That would make sense to me. But yeah, they didn't want anyone who was playing mature rated games on the regular. And I was playing Control. The previous stream I had done was Control. So I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
what is the Horizon games rated? Hang on.
Teen. I looked it up.
Are they teen? Okay.
The only one I didn't look at was the VR one, but I'm pretty sure they're all teen.
Yeah, I can't imagine they upped it to M for the VR game.
That would be funny though.
That would be funny for sure. Okay, interesting. All right. Well, that's all I've been playing. We should do some news. For those following along last week, we are going to do Game Award nominees. We'll do that at the end. But some news happened this week that we should get through as well. This was pretty surprising. So the PlayStation Portal, for those who don't remember, that's the little handheld device that lets you stream games from your PlayStation 5 to the handheld. You basically have to be on the same network for it to like fully work. They updated it that you can now cloud stream games. You don't need a PS5 anymore.
That's crazy.
Oh,
Right?
That's crazy.
So there's a couple caveats. First being it's only games that are part of the PlayStation Plus catalog,
Uh-huh.
and you need to be a PlayStation Plus premium tier subscriber, which is the top one, which is 18 USD a month. So you
Right.
can stream those games. They have a list of over 120. So I don't know if it's the entire catalog or not. I didn't like cross-reference those lists. But there's over 120 games that you can now cloud stream to this. You don't need a PS5. I cannot believe this wasn't in at launch. This is like no brainer.
Yeah, this is more of a value
this definitely
proposition.
makes it way more viable. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely, right?
Yep.
Like this is a game. Like this was a thing where it was like, hey, this is a real cool thing to have in your house. Don't take it outside of your house. It'll barely work. Don't do that. You can now take this and game on the go. It's an absolute game changer.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, you still need like a wireless signal to connect to, right? Because it doesn't do.
Right, but you could like
5G.
hotspot to your phone, yeah, or
Yeah.
if you're at like I don't know an office, something with a Wi-Fi signal, right? Take it to someone
Yeah.
else's house. But before you were just remote playing the PS5 you had.
Yeah, that it just brings up a
Theoretically
good
now,
point. Yeah,
You could not have a PS5. You could buy one of these if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber. You can use it. You don't need a PS5.
I think that's probably the plan then, because they know
Yeah.
like the entry point for the PS5 is stupid expensive.
And it's
So
getting
why
more
not give a
expensive.
cheaper option? Yeah, why not make a cheaper option? And that's the Portal makes a lot of sense, especially because it hits the Switch market at that point.
I just can't believe this wasn't in at launch.
Agreed. Yeah.
The
Like-
Portal's been out for what, a year now?
Like 2.
Two?
Has it been 2 years?
I thought it was only one.
Maybe it was 1. PlayStation Portal.
Maybe you're right. Probably a year and a half. Probably closer.
Oh no,
to,
you're
I
right.
guess.
Sorry, 1 year. 1 year.
Okay.
In fact, 1 year as of last week, 2023.
Okay, so yeah, so this is the 1 year anniversary update, I guess.
I guess, yeah. And like, what an awesome update! Just for some facts for people, if you want 720p streams, you need a connection of 7 megabits per second. You want 1080, you need a 13 megabit per second one. I think Xbox for their cloud streaming, they recommend a like 20 megabit connection. However, I didn't like double check that. That was just like what the fucking Google AI auto answer thing gave me. So who knows how accurate it is.
To be fair, I could see Microsoft being like, okay, we have to make sure like we cover our bases. Just pick a high enough number that sounds good.
Yeah, no, I mean the higher the number you say, I mean it makes it a harder sell, but then it kind of guarantees, well, if you have that, it'll look better, and then you won't complain as much. Antimages in the chat makes a great point. So technically, you can get into the PS5 library at $200 now.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to point out earlier. Like $200 plus $20 a month, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that's a steal.
The problem is this thing is not designed to be moved around. It is like it is a weirder shape than the Steam Deck, and the Steam Deck is already like almost too
A
big to
weird
be
shape.
considered portable. Like
Yeah.
I haven't looked into it because I never considered bringing this around, but the cases, I'm sure there's got to be cases out there. They must
They
be
do
like
exist.
weird. Like this thing is not designed to be thrown into a bag. Like this,
It's
there's a reason
basically the
Switch looks like a
same
flat
size as like
tablet.
the Steam Deck carry case. It looks very similar to that. One of my friends has a carry case for it, and it looks very similar. It's really long though, because I remember the Portal being pretty long looking.
It is pretty long. Yeah. Well, it's about as long as the Steam Deck. I remember kind of. It's
Oh,
like
okay. Well
the
then,
exact
yeah,
same size.
comparatively, yeah.
I still think the Steam Deck is like a more portable shape, just because it's like all kind of one rectangle, whereas this thing is a dual sense controller snapped in half.
Right.
I'm curious though. You guys don't have portals. Does this interest you at all?
I mean, I do have one. I just don't use
Oh.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be interesting. But I don't have the highest level online because I have not found value in it.
Yeah, I don't have the PS Plus either.
Yeah. I'm mixed on it because like I buy physical, so I probably have a decent amount of the games they offer on the service.
Right.
But like I wanted the Portal so I could like play it in other parts of the house.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like this is definitely this makes sense to do. This is a good value idea.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Sticking with the cloud streaming idea, Xbox just updated their cloud streaming platform. You can now cloud stream. There's about 50 games on the list. It's not everything. Games you own, not just Game Pass games.
That's crazy.
That wasn't a thing?
No, so up until this point, you could only stream games, most games that were in Game Pass. If you had the Game Pass Ultimate, which is the highest tier one, which is also around like 18 or 20 bucks a month. The plan was always to make it any of your games streamable, but I guess it just took longer to get to that point. They are now beginning that with a list of 50 games, so they don't have to be specific Game Pass games. As long as you own them, you can now cloud stream them. Which is pretty great. I'm trying to see where the full list is here, because this article is not saying it, which is insane to make this blog post and not put the list. And they're not even linking to it. I know Star Wars Outlaws was on there. I know Assassin's Creed Mirage was out there. All right, thanks Verge for half a news story. Anyway, that's pretty cool too. So cloud is the future. Okay, back over to Sony. They are in rumor to be buying Katakawa, the parent company that owns From Software.
Which that is an insane purchase because it is not just games they do. They do everything.
I was hearing it's kind of a big deal in the anime space.
Yep.
Especially because Sony already owns Crunchyroll, and I guess this was like kind of the only other name in town, so they'll just kind of own all the anime.
Katakawa is behind a lot of like movies and anime and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's a big pickup if they get it.
Right. So it's not like confirmed. The article I'm pulling up here says that Katakawa has confirmed the Sony's buyout intent, but insists no decision has been made at this time. I feel like at this point, it's probably going to happen. It seems like it's really going to happen.
Acquisitions, baby.
Yep. I mean, everyone's thinking of buying everyone all the time.
Yep.
Hey, maybe we'll get a Bloodborne 60 frames per second remake if they
actually- Yeah.
They won't have the money to make it.
That's the joke, right?
Yeah.
I mean, From Software has the money to make it.
FromSoft does. I do wonder if they get like, because does Katakawa own FromSoft, or are they just like
They're the majority
financer?
stakeholder.
They are the majority. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Actually, what I heard is they own 69% of
Nice.
FromSoft, which was
Nice.
That's the fact I heard.
It's ridiculous.
I really hope that is on purpose, because that just makes it even funnier.
I don't know.
There's no way.
I mean, Microsoft
There's no
did
way.
buy Activision for $69 billion, so this is a lot of coincidences happening. Anyway, yeah, I don't really. I would hope From Software wouldn't like get forced to go like single platform. I don't think they would want to after having kind of gone
Are we
multi.
still in a single plat world at this point? Because I feel like Microsoft's putting their stuff on other systems and still has to do with Activision and stuff like that. Sony's putting things on Switch now. Like,
It's they're definitely cracking. I would say, ignoring Nintendo because they're never gonna do anything.
Nintendo's Nintendo. Just let them be Nintendo.
Yeah, like I mean, Sony still they're not putting stuff on Xbox, but they are putting stuff on PC. And yes, you did the Switch example. Actually, no, that's not true. The baseball MLB that's on Xbox.
Yeah,
that was a Sony studio. So who knows, man. Also, who cares?
wild world out there.
Like multi-platform is just better for everybody.
For sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. It does remind me though, when like Sean Layden was like so against it, and then there was that one. It was like an E3 press or a Game Awards press conference where they brought out all the CEOs to be like, "Yeah, cross-platform's good," and it was like, "But Sean Layden, you don't like cross-platform. What are you doing? You're lying right to our face right now." Does anyone remember that?
Not really.
it's me?
No. I remember him being against it. I don't remember kind of the flip-flop though.
They brought Phil Spencer out, Reggie and Sean Layden. They were all on stage together, and they were like, "Yeah, cross-platform." And it was like, Sean Layden, last week you just talked about how you like hate everyone else.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. This
Weird.
is when like Rocket League and everything else was starting to do multiplat. This is early in.
Yeah, this was well because yeah, Reggie was still head of Nintendo
Yeah,
of America.
good point,
So yes,
yeah.
this was a while ago. Yeah. Okay, Steam is updating some of their rules for season passes. Steam will now require more transparency around season pass and DLC content, including details about what's included and expected release dates. Anything that ends up delayed could then potentially be eligible for a partial refund.
Interesting.
So basically, if you're putting a game on Steam
Interesting.
and you have future content plans, you have to lay them out, you have to schedule them, and if you miss them, Steam's going to penalize you.
Sure.
That
I
sounds
mean,
great.
that makes some sort of sense. Imagine like it wasn't the case, but imagine Concord was like, we also have a battle pass you can buy for $20. They pull it. It's like people are going to be pissed. So I understand why they would put this in to like cover the fact that people are going to
I'll give you an
refund.
even closer example. Redfall came out, sold a premium
Yes.
edition that included a season pass, and then did not make the update content because their studio got shut down.
But who would they get the money from that point? Like Microsoft at that point?
I believe they offered refunds.
Oh, okay.
And I
Right.
feel like most of the time when you hear about this, at least in the the bigger games where it makes headlines, they do offer refunds, or they do
Yeah.
have some kind of make good. I can't. I'm assuming maybe someone like just took the money and ran, and maybe that caused it. But I do think this is just, it's consumer friendly,
Totally.
and it's good to see a platform holder doing this for sure. Like actually putting like words down and writing it in stone. Like, look, this is what's going to happen. So it's Steam looking out for the consumer.
Totally. Yeah,
And
no,
it's
I
good
agree.
because I'm sure there's been plenty of studios that have been like, hey, here's all of our future plans, and then just to try and get a bunch of sales up front, and then they have to be like, well, we're gonna have to keep kind of pulling back on that, but we already got their money, so they can't get that mad. They can't refund it anymore. They already played it a bunch,
Yep. True.
So good on Steam. All right, the moment everyone's been waiting for. Buckle up.
Yeah.
Game Award nominees.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Let's do it. It's Game of the Year season, guys. You gotta get ready. Paul, I understand you've practiced a whole bunch. You're ready to go.
I've practiced a whole bunch of what?
You
Yeah, you went through
practice
this whole thing.
voting. You practice voting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I practice it every 4 years. Yeah. For this
Every 4
moment.
years. Yeah, this moment. Yeah.
But no, I went through all my personal choices and my predictions, so I have everything laid out. So I'll answer
Okay,
last on
wow.
each round because I just have
Okay.
it already.
Well, we should give some predictions. We should discuss all these. This is always super fun.
Yeah.
Again, the Game Awards are in 2 weeks. I think like 2 weeks today. I think. Or is it 3 weeks today? 1, 2. It's 3 weeks.
3.
Today.
Yeah, it's 3.
Yeah. I'll be there. I'm going.
Nice.
Fun times. Always a fun time. But do you guys have it pulled up? Do you want to look at these things? I say we go obviously in reverse order with
Yeah.
Game of the Year at the
No,
end.
I'm ready to go. I have it.
Yep. Yeah, I got it
Cool.
up too.
Can we just skip all the esport categories?
I'm okay with that.
If you want to.
Because I don't know any of these.
So I'll tell you what I did. I know that Faker is huge, and he's part of T1. So my answers were T1, Faker, and League of Legends for best team, athlete, and game. That's what I did.
John, do you want to say anything about esports?
Nope.
All right. Then our first category, content creator of the year. I don't know any of these people.
I put
I
Queso.
know USADA, so I'm saying USADA.
Okay, done.
Okay, and are you predicting what's going to win or who you want to win?
Predicting.
When we're doing all these. Predicting. But Paul, you did both, right?
I did both, but I'm giving you my predictions. I'm not giving you what I want to win.
Oh.
I can,
All right,
but
you wanna
like
tell us
I
what you
haven't
want?
been. What?
Okay, no, you should tell us who you want.
For content creator, I didn't care enough. I wanted Elo Juan because Spanish represent. He seemed like a cool
Okay.
guy. But I think Queso's
I'm
gonna
gonna
win.
pass on this one again. I don't. Doesn't the person who always wins this end up getting canceled?
That still tracks with
Aw.
predictions.
No
Isn't
idea.
there like a pattern around that?
I mean, I think at some point when you get big enough, you just get canceled anyway because you do something stupid. So yeah, it probably tracks.
Okay, ones I can actually talk about. Most anticipated game of the year. We have Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotai, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4, and Monster Hunter Wilds.
There's a Grand Theft Auto game and there's GTA
Of
6.
course it is.
It's absolutely GTA 6.
Yeah,
There's
of
no
course.
way this would ever.
If it's not GTA 6, it's Metroid Prime. That means there's more Nintendo voters than that, but it's got to be GTA 6.
It's GTA 6. There's no
You
question.
think Metroid Prime would be second on this?
I do think Metroid Prime would be second. Nintendo fans
Okay.
have been asking for Metroid Prime for so goddamn long.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah,
I think
could
it'd be
see
second.
that. My personal one is Ghost of Yotai. I'm extremely excited for that.
My personal one is Monster Hunter because I'm ready.
That's not
My
surprising.
personal one is Metroid Prime 4. So
There you go.
But we all know the actual answer is.
we all know the actual answer.
I'm
There's
writing
no
down
question.
And
only
the game
the
of the year
actual
next
answer.
year is Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah.
Calling it now.
So I am keeping track of these, and I'm only going to put the predictions, not what we want to win, obviously. because-
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, best adaptation, which these are like they adapted the game into a movie or a show or whatever. We got Arcane, we got Fallout, and then we got 3 that aren't going to be.
Yeah.
That's
That's
The
kind
other
of
3
what I
are
did too.
Knuckles,
Yeah.
Like a Dragon, Yakuza, and Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft.
I heard people like that Tomb Raider thing, but people talked about it for like a weekend, and then that was it.
Oh, did that even come out? I thought it wasn't even out yet.
They came out and everyone got upset with her chin.
What?
It's too manly.
You're right.
I thought that was the
do
games. I
remember-
remember that conversation with the games. I didn't know.
Yeah.
It was the freaking
No,
anime.
unfortunately, that's
that's
been the
just women, you
conversation
know?
all year. That for everything, unfortunately.
Yeah, basically, is nut jobs. That's just Twitter for you. We're on Blue Sky. Follow us on Blue Sky. For the record,
True.
Subtle.
So-
Subtle.
it's got to be Arcane and Fallout, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
between those. I chose Fallout. I think more people talk more about it because Arcane
I
season
think
2.
Fallout kind of would take it for the new factor because it's
Yeah.
Arcane season 2, right?
Yeah.
I
That's
think
what I
I think what it is like it's on Amazon Prime, so more people have a chance of having watched it. So I'm saying Fallout.
Over Netflix?
A lot of people use Amazon
At this point, maybe. I don't
I
know.
think more people have Netflix than Prime Video.
We're all in
I don't know.
agreement, though,
I'm-
right?
I'm,
Fallout.
I'm leaning to Fallout. It's probably
So
gonna be
we're all Fallout.
Arcane, but I'm leaning to Fallout.
Yeah.
Because Arcane was like pretty lauded when it came out, at least the first season.
Right, and the second season just came out. People seem very into it as well, but I think people really liked Fallout. They liked the actors.
Yeah.
That was a big one.
Yeah.
Best multiplayer: Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2.
Who won this last year? Because I remember it was kind of a surprise win last year. Does anyone remember?
I have no
I
idea.
can probably pull it up in a second. It'll take a second, though.
I'm looking it up.
823.
Oh, sweet, Paul, that package I told you about, it's showing up tomorrow. Donna told you about it last week.
Oh, okay. Neat.
Oh, I thought you said next week you might see it next week.
It got shipped today. I was like, I'm assuming
Wow.
Monday. No, it's coming up tomorrow.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, best multiplayer game last year was Baldur's Gate 3.
Hell yeah, of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's stupid. I love that game, but
like
God.
the entries were Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Mario Wonder. I'm not shocked it won that.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
This, I feel like it's going to either be Helldivers 2 or Black Ops 6.
I put Helldive. So mine was my prediction is Helldivers wins it, but I chose Black Ops 6.
Who decides who actually picks this? It's not the people that vote on the site, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
It's people that
So
vote
it's-
and a jury as well.
They have like a jury, and you know, for people who don't know, because I see people getting upset at Keeley himself, is he reaches out to a bunch of different publications, and those journalists submit their lists. So he's
Yes.
not making the lists. It's
Yeah.
like IGN, GameSpot.
Yeah, if it's in general, it's Black Ops, but if it's like industry people, it's probably Helldivers.
I think
Yeah.
that he has said in the past, like these votes, they account for like 10%.
Yeah.
Like it sways things, but it is mostly like what the outlets.
Yeah.
are
My
calling
only
for.
concern is because Helldivers 2 had that moment where like everyone was like hating on it because of Sony, and I don't think it's ever fully recovered from that. So, but Helldivers 2 is still pretty good. So that's gonna be my answer.
I think it's Helldivers too.
It's what Jade the Kitty Dragon's saying. It's 90% jury, 10% everyone else, basically.
Yeah.
So, sorry, what did you guys say? Both Helldivers?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, so we all three agree then. Cool.
All right, best sports racing.
Yeah.
As always, weird category.
Hey.
F1 24, EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K 25, Top Spin 2K 25, and WWE 2K 24. I'm shocked that the Madden college football game is not on this.
I just took a stab in the
You're
dark
right.
because I don't
People
care
seem really into that.
about this at
It's
all.
probably NBA.
Okay.
We
I'll
even
put
I
it
was
won
in.
going to say
last
EA
year.
Sports FC. That's my guess.
Okay, Sean and
last
I.
year was Forza. Yeah, because there was a Forza game.
Sean and I agree then, and I'll put NBA for John. Cool.
Yeah.
Best sim strategy. This is a cool category this year. There's a big spread here. Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord.
This is a crazy category.
I want Unicorn Overlord to win. I
I
want
want
that to win.
Kunitsugami to win because that
Yeah.
game deserves so much more. No one's gonna remember that game ever.
I think
for, like,
Manor Lords is going to
weirdos
win
being
it.
like, "This is that crazy Capcom game." You think Manor Lords?
I think Manor Lords takes it, but I voted for Kunitsugami.
John, you want
I
Unicorn
want
to take
Unicorn to take it. I don't think it will, but you know what? I'll stand behind it. Unicorn Overlord.
Nice. It's a great game.
You don't think Frostpunk 2 has a shot?
No, it doesn't.
Frostpunk 2 probably. Oh, really?
Because when it came out, it was littered with issues, and people kind of dropped it right away.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think Manor Lords got pretty popular. Yeah, I'll give it to that.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the weeb vote for Unicorn Overlord.
That would be great.
Because like Vanillaware deserves some recognition too. So
for sure.
All right, next category is Nintendo Game of the Year.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I mean, it basically is. Okay, best family: Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime, Super Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, and The Plucky Squire.
Astrobot.
Astrobot.
I also picked Astrobot. Yeah.
I did finish Plucky Squire this week, and nah, man.
That's a shame.
Didn't like it.
Nope.
Yeah. This is
I was
boring.
like 6 hours into that, and they're like, "Here's 3 stealth sequences back to back," and I was like, "Are you kidding me right now?" Luckily, to their credit, you can pause it and select skip minigame, and then you don't have to do it. But I could not believe they were going to make me do a stealth sequence where if you get spotted, you start that part over again.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Best fighting game, which I really feel like you could tell there was not a lot of fighting games this year because Multiverses is in this.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Collection Arcade Classics. I think that's another kind of sign. Multiverses and Tekken 8.
Yeah. My prediction is Dragon Ball, but I voted for MVC Collection because that's the one I actually played for a while.
I'm gonna go.
I do want.
Tekken 8.
The collection has so much hype, but I don't think it's enough to push it. I'm gonna say Tekken 8.
So you're both Tekken 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was there anything new to the Marvel vs. Capcom fighting
No,
collection?
it's a collection. It's classic arcade
it's just
games.
a collection of them, right?
Yeah, but with online.
And there was a bunch
With
of them
online,
that weren't available outside of the arcade put in there as well. So
I just wasn't sure if they were if there was any kind of remaster or any updates.
Oh,
or
no,
really.
nothing like that.
And that's why I mean, why I feel like there wasn't a ton of fighting games because they picked what is basically like a port collection to put in there as well.
Which is funny because
And I
like
feel
Rivals
like-
Aether 2 came out. I think there's like another one that came out. Yeah.
Rivals of Aether was like recent too, right? Like, was that game bad? I haven't heard anyone say anything about that game.
I also have not heard much about it. One of my mods is really into it, but like I haven't heard anything bad about it at all.
Let
me look it up.
Weird that I haven't heard anything.
Very positive. 2,672 reviews. 83% overall.
There you go. I'm just following the wrong people.
Yeah. Came out almost exactly a month ago. 2 days away from a month.
Oh.
I mean, like the sad pessimistic kind of view of this is like, Keely's reaching out to like game journalists and websites and stuff who are every month laying off half their staff, which kind of forces the game sites to kind of like pick and choose what they're going to be able to cover. And fighting games typically are not going to get that kind of attention compared
Yeah.
to a more mainstream one. So you're probably going to be getting people being like, I don't know, here it's hard enough for me to name 5 fighting games that came out. This is not really what I focus on. I've been busy playing Dragon Age because that gets the views.
Yeah.
And that's the same with like racing games and sports games too. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, for sure.
all right, best RPG. This is going to be a hard one for sure.
Yeah.
There's some bangers in here. We got Dragon's Dogma 2, which hey, good for you guys. Enjoy being nominated.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. Um, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree. We'll discuss that in a second. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. Keeley did get out in front like before the weekend because this all came out on Monday. I think he announced this stuff. And
Something like it's very recently, yeah.
Yeah, it was like Friday or something. He made a post or they highlighted the fact where he said that he's going to include expansions in there, and you knew it had to be all about Erdtree.
So he said that Friday, right after we were predicting what games would be like featured, and literally saying, "Do you think they have DLC there?"
Yeah,
he was one day earlier.
What I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about, part of the selection category is people can submit basically any game for any of these categories. And then it kind of comes down to will enough people submit it. So you could submit an old game. Sure. The likelihood that a bunch of other people are going to submit it is low, right?
Yep.
Unless something happened to it this year to bring it back in conversation, and thus more people will probably submit it. So if you think back a couple years ago when Among Us was getting nominated and people were like, this game came out years ago, it's like, yeah, but it became massive this year.
It became part of the conversation this year, even though it was on phones or whatever a year ago before that. Yeah.
And that's how it also kind of deals with ongoing games and stuff. And I guess Shadow of the Erdtree as well, is it's like it did enough. The game is playable and it became part of the conversation this year because of some kind of update or something to it. And I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care either way. To be fair, also, Shadow of the Erdtree as a DLC has more content and stuff in it than a lot of full-fledged games these days. So
yeah, I agree with you too. Is like if it's a good enough piece of content, then why should it not be considered for anything or be pushed aside? I remember on our own Game of the Year stuff, I put a Mass Effect 3 DLC in there because it was one of the 10 best things I played that year.
I think my number 1 or 2 was literally Resident Evil 7's demo for that year.
I think you did that one year
because it was awesome.
Yeah. It's something playable this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I am not the person to bitch about this too, because I don't care.
So, and then here's another thing I've been hearing. It should have its own DLC category. I was also hearing that, and I heard a great response to that is when it comes to the Game Awards, you have to think is that this is something that happens every single year, and he doesn't change the categories every year. So
right. Whereas we do.
If he's going to make a best DLC category, then he needs to be making the assumption that every year there's going to be at least 5 incredible DLCs. You just can't get that.
And I mean, it doesn't matter. Best ongoing kind of covers that too. Really.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
No, it's true. It's true. So I'll just break the ice and say I racked my brain on this. I think Final Fantasy VII will win it just on name recognition more than anything.
Really, I would see because I would for name recognition I would go at Erdtree.
Yeah,
I really want Metaphor to win this. I heard great things about it, but I'm leaning Elden Ring.
This is
again
hard,
for the same reason as Sean. It was so talked about. Elden Ring won so many awards at the time it came out, and it was just a pretty substantial DLC. Final Fantasy, very safe chance, honestly, but
yeah.
I feel like I want Metaphor to win for the same reason I want Like a Dragon to win. It's you guys just have so much heart and you deserve it.
Honestly, it could be Like a Dragon. It wouldn't be the weirdest thing, but when you put it up against those other two, it's so unlikely to me.
And then Dragon's Dogma 2 is here.
Yeah, I need to go to that. I need to play some of that game because fuck, I love Dragon's Dogma 1, but I heard it had so many issues, this one. So I stayed away from it.
Well, you just need to get yourself a PS5 Pro.
Yeah, great. for Dragon's Dogma 2. The one person on this earth that bought one for that game.
Someone did it. Someone did it. You know, you're not gonna be the only one.
I do think that Dragon's Dogma should be happy for the nomination, and that's like as far as it's going to get.
Yeah, like it's kind of crazy that it's here over Veilguard even for RPG, but whatever. So you're both
Sure.
Erdtree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I
Final
want
Fantasy's a
Metaphor, but
pretty-
it's probably Erdtree. It's Erdtree or Final Fantasy. If it's not one of
It
those
is
two, I'd be shocked.
It
Yeah.
is definitely one of those two. I'll give it to Final Fantasy.
Oh, you're
Give it to Final
changing.
Fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I saw today the is it the Golden Joystick Awards? There's a award show happening in Europe right now, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth won for like best storytelling, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? That was like the worst part of that game."
Isn't it up for best? Well, when we get to best narrative, I have some opinions on some of the things that are on there too. So,
Okay, good.
yeah.
We'll get there.
Yes.
All right, best action adventure. Another great category here: Astrobot, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and Echoes of Wisdom.
I hate this category so
I like
much.
all these options. Wow.
What did you say, Paul?
I said I hate this category so much. It's such a weird catch-all. So I think Astrobot wins it, but my choice was Silent Hill 2.
I think Astrobot wins it. My choice, but I probably would have said Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. But I'm gonna vote for Astrobot.
Yeah.
I don't think Prince of Persia stands here. It is such like a little engine that it could, and it's great. I do think Astrobot. I feel like Astrobot would almost win like everything it's in.
I think Astrobot's gonna be the Last of Us of this year's game.
Yeah, it might be. It very well might be.
What does that mean?
It wins like almost every category it's in.
Oh, okay.
It sweeps. Yeah. The thing that I had
Uh,
against this is the combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. It's like that doesn't describe Astrobot at all. Astrobot's vibes, but whatever.
I guess so. I can see that, sure. And then we have Best Action Game: Black Myth Wukong, Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Space Marine 2.
I think Wukong, like hands down, and I voted for it.
I think Black Ops 6.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna say Helldivers.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Okay, and then Best VR AR, 5 games I haven't played. Arizona Sunshine Remake.
Batman.
Yeah, exactly. As Asgard's Wrath 2. Actually, I think that's going to be the one. Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellslinger VR, and Metro Awakening. I know VR people love the Asgard's Wrath games,
So
and 2 was like a big deal when it came out, so that's why I think that gets it.
Asgard's Wrath 2 is what I voted for because my thing was there's better ways to play all of these other types of games not in VR. For one thing, that's like the full VR game. But
Is there a non-VR Arizona Sunshine?
yeah, it's on Steam.
Oh, okay.
Because this is a
Okay.
remake or whatever. So maybe not of the remake or whatever. But that's the one
Yeah,
I
right.
chose because it is a remake and people like might just vote for that because they know it.
I'll go
What did
for
you say,
Batman
John?
still.
Batman?
I'm sticking with
Batman?
Batman.
Okay.
I did hear good things about the Batman game too.
Batman also has recency bias, I think, out of the 5.
Sure.
Oh, sure.
And the name recognition.
Yeah.
John, you're saying Asgard's Wrath, right? Just to be sure. Clear?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Best mobile game: AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket,
Ooh.
Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero. This is Balatro, right?
Ooh.
So-
I don't know, because Pokemon and Zenless Zone Zero.
So when I made my prediction, I put Balatro, like, they're hands down. And then, like, the last 2 days this week, I've seen people just explode about Pokemon. I'm like, oh, shit. Maybe it's Pokemon. So, I don't know. I'm sticking with Balatro because that's what I put.
Balatro has the best chance, or Balatro, however the fuck you say it. But Pokemon is Pokemon. I think it generally has a good chance. I'm probably going to say Pokemon.
Okay.
But it also
gonna-
might be a recency bias thing, because Balatro, it was popular enough to make Game of the Year. So
That's
Yeah.
true. It's true. Best debut indie game: Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and The Plucky Squire.
Animal Well was so good, but I gotta go with Belatro because like
Yeah.
everyone talked about it.
Yeah, I think it's Balatro again.
I also guessed that, but I voted for Pacific Drive because no one else is going to. So somebody.
No
had
one's
to.
going to vote for
I-
Pacific Drive. You're right.
I would love for Animal Well to take it though.
Also, who keeps submitting the Plucky Squire? I can only assume these people really liked the trailer but didn't play the game.
Totally. Yeah, I think so.
Best independent game: Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Neva, and UFO 50. This is a strong fucking category. Are you like, holy shit?
Yeah.
Wow.
For some reason, in my mind, when I was thinking about this, I'm like, for some reason, this is the one Animal Well wins in my mind. So that's my prediction.
I'm
I
gonna
think
stick
it's
with
still Balatro.
I think it's still Belatro, but man, I really wish UFO 50 would do it.
Yeah,
UFO
UFO 50 is going to
is
get
cool.
shafted.
I love that Neva's here. No one's going to talk about Neva enough just in my lifetime, and that is such a great game. And Lorelei and the Laser Eyes is also extremely cool. Right, best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky.
This was Helldivers 2 for me.
I feel like that I was gonna say Helldivers 2 almost exactly, but man, like they got shafted earlier because of Sony, so I don't know. That might shift them a bit. But yeah, it's Helldivers or Baldur's Gate.
Helldivers came back from that too, though, a little bit, because remember they even like made the cloak with the like positive negative review bar graph or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they played into it a little bit too. I really liked what they did kind of with the like a game master kind of moving pieces around in the background to change that world. So for me, I think it was definitely Helldivers.
I wanna believe, so I'm gonna say Helldivers. But I feel like it's probably gonna be Baldur's Gate.
Or Sean, what did you say? You think?
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate? Okay.
This one's always kind of like similar, but Destiny, best ongoing: Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2.
I don't love Helldivers 2 here because it released this year.
No, I don't think it's got that. I don't think it's got it.
Final Fantasy 14 kind of had like a downer year because they're starting a new storyline, a new arc, so it was kind of a meh whatever thing. So I don't think.
Yeah,
it's
14 didn't win last year either. So
Diablo 4, I don't think made up enough ground. I think it's Destiny 2 because they had their.
I think it's Destiny 2 because they finished it. They did the final shape.
They had their most talk they've had in a while this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree with Destiny 2.
Then they laid off a whole bunch of their staff like immediately after.
Yeah. So it goes.
Now they'll win based on irony points then at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Pity points, yeah. Games for Impact: Closer the Distance, Indica, Neva, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Tales of Kenzara Zao.
I feel like I heard a lot about Kenzara Zao, but then like never really saw anyone play it.
That's the problem, is that it did so poorly that they kind of like shuddered after, right? That it came out.
I didn't finish it. It just kind of didn't grab me.
Yeah. I think it's Life is Strange, just name recognition alone. That's what I chose.
I don't think it's Life is Strange. I heard a lot of great things about Indica.
Same.
I mean, I voted Indica because that game's fucking amazing, but like I don't think
it is on
people
my
are
like
talking
I
about
need
it.
to play it before the end of the year list for sure. I'm gonna give it to Neva. Like I would love to see Neva get this.
I'll stick with Indica.
Nice.
And I've never even heard of Closer the Distance.
Yeah, I haven't either.
All right, innovation in accessibility: Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age: The Veilguard, The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws. I actually don't know what each of them did.
Yeah, I don't
so I
either.
don't have a great. Yeah, like last time, usually one of these games I've heard at least a little bit about it. But I don't know any of them. I know someone who worked on Black Ops 6, so I'll just give him that. I'll go with that one, I guess.
Okay.
Diablo 4 was in the running last year for innovation and accessibility and didn't win, so I don't think it gets it again this year. Like I said, I have no idea. Like I don't know what any of these games did. Let's say Dragon Age. Why not? Let's just take a shot in the dark.
Yep.
I chose Prince of Persia. just because that like taking a snapshot mechanic or whatever of that area seemed cool.
Okay. Best performance. I love this category. Brianna White for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Anatell for Life is Strange Double Exposure. Humberly Gonzalez for Star Wars Outlaws. Luke Roberts for Silent Hill 2. And Melina Jurgens for Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. I'm going to just go with that because she's always so good in Hellblade.
That's who I guessed, but I voted for Brianna White because I loved Aerith in that game. Very good.
Okay. You know who in
she won the first one, I think. Melina won the first with the first Hellblade, didn't she?
I believe she did, yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if she got it again. I'm going to lean with her, but I think Paul's probably right with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
I think if Senua's Saga wins anything at the awards, it should be this.
Sure.
Personally.
Who's the Outlaws girl? What character did she play?
Isn't she the main character?
Oh, she's Kay Vess. Okay.
Yeah.
Did not realize that. Best audio design: Astrobot, Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. This is another great category for Hellblade, to be fair.
Yeah, I chose Silent Hill 2 because all of the horror in that is sound.
I'm going to go Astrobot.
I'm going to go Hellblade 2.
Okay.
Best score and music: Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. I was mulling about this.
Okay. So Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade.
This is Rebirth.
Yeah, you think it's...
It could be.
Metaphor's pretty good, too. Astrobot's music is real good. That underground
That was why
theme.
I hesitated. I'm like, oh, maybe this is the one Astro would have taken. But then I'm like, oh, Final Fantasy's here.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's probably... Yeah, I'm going Rebirth.
I went Astrobot.
Okay. Best art direction: Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, Metaphor ReFantazio, and Neva. Metaphor ReFantazio.
I went Metaphor as well.
I want it to be Metaphor.
I would also love Neva to get it, but it's hard to go up against like an Atlas game in this.
If it's not Metaphor, it's going to be Black Myth, I think, or Elden Ring. It's going to be one of those two. As much as I love Astrobot, I don't think it has this category.
I was him and Han between that Metaphor and Black Myth Wukong just because of how they kind of realized that universe and those characters in a crazy way. Makes sense to me.
All right. Best narrative: we have Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. Paul, you had some thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so I think Hellblade 2's narrative is the worst part of it. I think it's awful. So it's
I'm surprised that's in this one. Yeah.
As somebody who absolutely fucking loves Silent Hill 2, that game is 23 years old. It's weird that that's here.
I am amazed it's here.
It's crazy.
No. I love that game. I don't know why it's here.
It's crazy.
I'm also surprised Rebirth is in this because like nothing happens in that game.
So I chose Rebirth because people love dumb spectacle ending stuff, and that's what that does. So people will probably say, "Oh yeah, that has a great story," when it doesn't.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it to Metaphor. Like I think that's I don't know the story for Infinite Wealth and Silent Hill 2, but I think Metaphor has a great narrative, so I'm gonna pick that.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll lean Metaphor as well, but I think Paul's right about Rebirth getting it just because of the spectacle of it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I just don't think it deserves it.
It doesn't. For sure.
I just love the fact that 2 of the 5 games here are technically retellings of a game that came out like 20 plus years ago.
And for what it's worth, I voted for Silent Hill 2 because I'm like, it's stupid, but I loved it back then. And I still like it, so why wouldn't I?
All right. Next category is Best Game Direction, which I have a hard time differentiating this between Game of the Year, and so did whoever submitted all the games. But Best Game Direction: Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Erd Tree, Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantazio.
I chose Black Myth for this.
I think Black Myth, yeah.
Outstanding creative vision and innovation in game design and direction design. I don't know, Balatro.
Okay.
Why'd you guys pick Wukong?
It had a lot of hype behind it. It was like it's the standout Chinese developed game. it was pretty lauded when it came out. It sold a ridiculous amount, and like the art direction's really freaking solid. So,
Basically because people were saying that like it's like the like next evolution of like a Souls-like game and stuff like people really liked how it played mechanically and how different it felt or whatever.
And then finally, game of the year,
which is the exact same list.
is the exact same list: Astrobot, Balatro, Wukong, Erdtree, Rebirth, and Metaphor.
So
I hate this list. I hate this list. It's too tough of a list.
I voted Astrobot myself. But
how sick would it be if Balatro won Game of the Year?
I mean,
that would be awesome.
I didn't like Balatro.
Stray take
so
some
I don't...
award like a couple years ago?
Yeah,
it was nominated.
It was nominated.
That's how that happened. It was nominated for Game of the Year.
It won a few things.
Wild to me.
Yeah. I didn't think Balatro was very good for me. I didn't like it.
Balatro deserves it.
Disagree. I don't like it. I don't think it's very good.
You don't like Balatro?
Not really, no.
Wow, okay.
So, like, I never understood the hype, and the way people talked about it was crazy to me back then.
All right.
I chose Black Myth just because China.
I'm going to say Astrobot just because it had so much hype around it and positivity about it.
I hope you're right.
But I hope I'm right too, but I'm betting it's Elden Ring or Black Myth.
I don't want it to be Elden Ring. As somebody who loved it, I don't want it to be that.
I am super curious. Like, does Elden Ring just take it because of like it is a really good piece of DLC? I would love for it to be Astrobot for sure. I could also see like Rebirth just Rebirth is huge in like every regard. It's so massive.
Yeah.
I don't see Metaphor taking it.
No,
sadly,
I don't either.
Well, yeah.
It would be so sick if Balatro took it. I would.
Balatro would be like the surprise win, but I feel confident it's Astro, Black Myth, or Elden. Those three.
People love Astrobot.
I'm gonna go Astrobot.
You're gonna go Astro?
This is a hard one. Like
it is.
I could see an argument for all of these, with maybe Metaphor being like the least strong one.
Sure. I really hope Shadow of the Erdtree doesn't win it. Honestly,
Shadow of the Erdtree is good. That is a great chunk of game.
It doesn't deserve it compared to some of these others, in my opinion. It had its time.
All right, so there's our predictions. Again, the Game Awards are happening in 3 weeks. We'll see how correct we are and everything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the news. We're going to skip questions this week because this episode's going long. So why don't you guys give me your game of the week?
Jamboree.
Angel at Dusk, a shooter that came out. Shmup. It's good.
Oh, okay. You didn't want to talk about that?
Nah, not really.
All right. And mine is Dragon Age.
Nice.
Okay. Thanks everyone for watching. And we'll see you next week on Thanksgiving, Americans Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.